In last week's video, we removed the Dometic air conditioner in the salon of our 2007 48 Sea Ray Sundancer. It was actually way more difficult than we thought it would be. We read that we might have to remove the couch in order to remove the AC, but it turned out that we only needed to remove the end table. Removing the couch might have actually been easier. We had to squeeze into some pretty tight spaces and search for a bunch of brackets and screws to see how the table was attached to the boat. We kept hitting roadblocks and couldn't figure out why the table would not budge. The table not coming out means the air conditioning was there to stay. After struggling, we figured out the table was getting stuck on some carpet underlayment, so we had to cut a section of it out, and the table moved enough for us to pull it up and then out. And finally, after about 4 hours of finding brackets and screws, detaching and reattaching wires, draining water, removing cabinet doors, cutting out carpet underlayment, and trips to the engine room, finally, the old unit was out and ready for recycle. So now to installing our brand new CTM air conditioning unit. Stay tuned, subscribe, and please feel free to comment or ask any questions. Now it's time to inspect the new unit and get the layout of it. While the footprint is the same as the Dometic, the design is a bit different. The first thing we need to do is to position the fan assembly to mate up with the duct position. Not sure how to do that yet, so just looking at the unit to see if I can figure it out. CTM provided a very detailed instruction manual. It helped me locate a single set screw that solved that problem. As you will see later in the video, the entire fan assembly is removable, which was a lifesaver as it would have been extremely hard to get the unit back into the space where it was installed with the fan attached to the unit. It was simple. Take out the set screw and the fan assembly was able to be moved to mate up with the duct. The same set screw, once removed, allowed the fan assembly to come off the AC unit. Brilliant design, I must say. As we get the unit ready to go back in place, we need to adjust the clamp for the duct so that we can tighten it down and attach the duct to the unit. We got everything prepared so that we can make the connection fairly quickly. Unfortunately, as I said before, we had to scrap all this work as the unit would not fit unless we removed the fan. Good?
Sweet.
Okay.
Alright.
So, we need to
So
work
you took
together
this off?
because this is off right now,
Okay,
but
so-
it's still connected.
Oh, it's connected.
Yeah,
Okay.
I cannot disconnect it.
Alright, so
Okay, so this needs to, no.
probably took some of the weight off.
Took a lot of the weight off. This
Okay.
isn't light.
Alright,
Okay,
so
so
why
this
don't
is
I-
how much
why don't I
line-
drop it, you hold that, and I'll drop this down.
Well, hang on. Hang on.
Where's the screw from?
It just that's
it
my
over there.
screw. Okay, you ready? I have the handle right here. You're gonna take the back end. We're gonna drop it right into here. You ready? One, two, three.
Hold on, watch the way.
Nope, you're not. Hold on. There you go. Atta girl. Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay. Hold on. I have to. Okay.
You moving it over?
Nope. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't get there. I got this. Just let go. Let go.
Okay.
Okay, it's
My
in.
hand is under it now.
Okay. Can you get your hand out? There you go. All right. It's in. All right. So now I gotta get this thing put back on. Okay.
What you need?
I just need to slide this in. Okay, slide this in like this. Okay. Okay, let's get this here. Like so.
Can you speak it out now?
No, I mean right now we just we need to clamp on the vent and get the blower in the right position in there, and then we'll have to put the screw in so that it's secure in there, and then hook up the water lines.
That one?
Yeah, hook up the water lines, and then once we hook up the water lines, we got to hook up electrical. And then we gotta just, whatchamacallit, we're gonna leave everything open until we get this thing fully tested. Hopefully that's gonna be in about an hour. So that is the scoop. Okay. A lot of vent hose in here. A lot of extra. Now, one of the things in the manual that they'll tell you is that Dometic uses a 7-inch, CTM uses 6-inch, so you really have to clamp this down an extra inch. So they give you the clamp, and then you just gotta tighten it up, and it's gonna take a little time because I'm doing this one by hand. Torque it because it's just plastic in there. I don't want to break it.
Oh, sorry.
Now that the air duct is connected to the unit, we can prepare the water lines to be connected. The water inlet and outflow are in different positions than the Dometic. We will get our clamps on the lines ready so that once we get them adjusted, we can connect the lines and tighten the clamps. Make sure you thoroughly inspect the original clamps that you took off during the deinstall. Replace any clamps that may not be acceptable to use for the next however many years the unit is installed. I do recommend all new clamps on all the water lines. We marked top, bottom. It's important because you have flow going through the air conditioning. So the flow goes out the top, goes in through the bottom. So you need to mark your either top or bottom or in and out. I mean, there's markings on these hoses as it is. So, but very important, you got to make sure that they go on the right way. Otherwise, you got a bigger problem you're gonna have to deal with. All right, well, the question has been asked, if this is a direct replacement, why do they give you so much hose? I need to tell, please. There's water in this line. Yep. The unit that was in here was probably 6 or 8 years old. So the problem with the older units is that the water inlets and outlets are in different spots. So unfortunately, when you go and put a new one in, sometimes you got to retrofit things. For example, this. So what you got to do is cut the hose, get some clamps going here. Okay, let's get this hose on here. You know what? Tell me when. Alright, so what you can do is take a little dish soap, hand soap, a little hand soap on the inlet and the outlet that you're going to do. And what's that going to do is it's going to make your time to get this hose on here probably a little easier. Maybe not. There we go. Okay, hose is on. That is our out, and then this is going to be the in right here. This one is going to get cut down. Just leave the towel down here. Okay, get rid of some water in there. Right. Okay. And this one's going to go right down in here. Clamps are, where am I at? Oh, can I have that hose real quick? Clamps. Don't forget to put the clamps on the hoses that you're working on. Otherwise, you got to take them all the way off again. Go this way with those. Actually, I see some growth in there. Okay. Okay, go on here. Alright, our hoses are on. Okay, those are going to go and sit down in there. They're probably going to sit on the underneath under the table, which is fine. What we'll do is we'll actually put a little tie wrap, put a little screw down here with a tie wrap on it, and we'll just tie wrap them down to here, which will be fine. Okay, so now we have to tighten down our clamps, which is the next thing we're going to do. Okay, so we extended the drain line over there. So we extended it a little too long. So let's give this a little cut. PVC cutter works fantastic. Okay. The line is a little bigger than what is used on here, so we're just going to clamp it down tight. There's no pressure or anything coming out of this line, so I'm not really worried about it. There we go. It's on. Now we're going to tighten that up. We should be good to go right there. But we should actually probably go a little shorter. Yep, let's go a little bit shorter on that.
Short.
Yep.
Can't add to it.
What the heck happened?
Stretching around the clamp.
There we go. Let's go down. Slide this in. Can you move the camera? Okay. Go. In. This up. Okay. Drain line is connected. So, got to, so this is in here. This is right where we want it, right there. Right in about there. So, I need to get because those are different. So let's get our drill. Let's go get one of the mounts that they supplied. And let's get this mounted in there so that it's doesn't move around and it doesn't vibrate on the floor. And put it right about there. We'll put 2 mounts on this side. We gotta still get rid of this cable TV wire. I don't know why it's still here, but we'll just, I'm sure it's not being used. So we'll just put it back in here. Won't affect anything. This one, tuck in the wall back here. Okay. Okay. Now we just gotta get some fasteners and let's get this thing bolted down. Okay. Let's get 2 screws in there. Oh, shit. I need my screwdriver. I need my electrical. I need the electric with the bit. Okay, let's fasten these down. I think these are going to be too long. How thick is this? These are too long. We'll get a couple screws. I got the staple gun and put that back to where it was. Fiberglass. I need a drill bit. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, those are in. Okay, so we got our drain line on, we got our brackets in. We're only going to be using 2 brackets, that's all we need in this install. It's so tight in there, it's not going to move. Our whatchamacallit is on, our vent hose is on. Now it's time to go hook up electric and then fire it up. Fire and all. Okay. So alright, so we need to, you know what I think we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to come out here and make all our connections out here, and then we're going to feed it through. Because it'll be easier to do it that way. So take the unit out of here. If you look at the box, it looks just like the one we just took out. So let's take our wires and let's start connecting. Alright, so we know our temperature, our controller goes right here. Okay, and can I have that gray wire right there, please? That one, yep. That is our temperature probe, which we'll have to mount up in a little while. We'll figure out where we're going to put that. Oh, we don't want to do that. That was a mistake. We need to go through here. So let's get through this side here, through the grommet. Oh, this makes working in these fun. Okay, can I have a screwdriver, please? Either one, doesn't matter. I think there's one right here, man. Got it. Okay, so that is not punctured yet. So let's puncture that. Oh, okay. You know what? We're not going to use them. Don't need them. It's not going in a wet area. So this will make our lives a lot easier. This is our controller. That goes in here. Goes in here. Okay, let's get the controller going here. Okay, that is our controller's port. So you got 2 controller ports. You got 8-pin and 6-pin. We're using a 6-pin controller. That goes in there. This is our temperature probe, which is gonna go right next to it. This is why we don't use the grommets, because these are too tight to get everything in here. And when you use the grommets, it makes it even tighter. So let's get this in here. Let's go do that. Okay. All right. So I need to. Okay. All right. Okay. L2. Here is our whatchamacallit. As a matter of fact, what I will say is they're not as pronounced as Dometic is as far as the labeling here. I'm pretty sure this is ground, but I'm going to grab out the instructions real quick and take a look at them and just make sure that we're going in the right direction. So bear with me 1 second. Okay, box. Ground is there. No, thank you. Okay. Those are our ground wires. Okay. And now we're doing L2. So very important when we marked them before. So this one's going to be L2. This is going to be our first one right here. Okay. And Sea Ray doesn't use spade connectors, they use loop connectors. So we have to take the screw all the way out. We have to take this down into here. And these are always tight. I've done 2 of these already. It's always tight fit in there. Part of it is because I have them marked and the blue tape is in there, so I want to leave them marked. Okay, it's L2. It's L2 right there. And then I have to do L2 pump, which is right there.
Pump or count?
That says P, pump. No, that's the next. It's over here. L2 pump, right there. Okay, now we have to do L1 and L1 pump, which are right here. L1 pump, L1 is right there. So we're going to take this, we're going to do L1. Now, one of the things we are going to do is when we're all done with this, one of those the little grommets sometimes, just so we don't have any chafing. But we're gonna have everything just loose for now, and then we're going to tie wrap everything together. Once we put everything back, we'll tie wrap everything together, and then this way we won't have to worry about any chafing. Okay, let's get L1 in here, which is going to be this right here. That's it. Yeah. Can you grab that for me, please? Get your little fingernails in there. Get it? Okay. Yep. Just hold it for a second. Okay. Take it. Thank you. Okay, last but not least, we're going to do L1 pump, which is here. Just going to go right here. Okay. Okay, so our control box is now hooked up. Fairly simple. Just gotta follow the wiring that you took off. So we have water connected, we have vent connected, we have electrical connected. Right now we are fully connected. So what are we going to do now? Now we are going to go in the engine room. We are going to turn on all our we're going to open our seacock. We're going to turn all our valves on, and then we're going to come in and we're going to fire this thing up. Make sure we're not touching anything here. We're not putting anything away until we know everything works, and we'll tighten up the blower and we'll get everything, make sure we don't have any water leaks. We don't want to put anything back in here until we know everything is working fine. So stay tuned. No, I don't need it. Thank you though. Okay, a little pad going on down here. Okay, cock open. Okay. We need to do the strainer tomorrow. Okay, here we go. Coming down. Okay. Yep. All right. So, air conditioning pump relay. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for about 10-15 seconds. Okay. We're gonna put the forward air conditioning on first. Okay. We're gonna do the aft air conditioning. Let's make sure everything comes on first. Okay, let's see. This one's lit up. It says 73 in here. Okay, we got air conditioning running there. Okay, let's go check the forward. Hear that? Oh, there's a fan right here running. Okay, that one is running too. Okay, here's the big reveal. We did it right, it's gonna come on. We did it wrong, and on. Okay, display on. That's a good sign. Okay. Nope. Okay, so right now it says it's 77 in here. Let's turn this on to cool. And we got air conditioning. Okay, so now flashlight, where should it be? That's right there. You can hand me that flashlight, because now we are going to keep an eye on this. We are not going to button up everything until we know that there is no water leaks here. Okay. All right. So we're good in there. So far, no water leaks. Check our fans. Okay. Can you check your fan over there and see, make sure that one's coming out okay? Nice and, should be nice and strong. Cold? Okay. Yeah. Put this down a little bit. We're just checking Make sure we don't have any water leaks here. Make sure the air conditioning is running. Our temperature probe is here because we need to reroute that when we put the box in. So we really don't know what the temperature is in here right now. We can just leave that over there. And anyway, we can just for checking, we'll see what the, if you look at the thermostat, there you go, down to 76, 75, 74. Okay, so the probe is working. All right, so we know the probe is working. The display is working, okay, because remember this is an old Cruise Air display, compatible with the Cruise Air display. Pretty quiet. Okay, so I think that we are to the point now where we're going to mount the controller in here. We're going to mount the controller in there. Nope, nothing leaking in there. There's the only two spots right here. So I guess when they put the air conditioning in, they extended the hoses. The original hoses were too short. So they put the hoses extension. We cut them off. We don't need them. This is really the only place that there's any water going in and out is right here. So we are dry. We are dry. Yeah, we got a little water on the bottom when I connected the hoses. There was a little water left in there. So that's fine. You okay? My phone.
Something was heavy.
Yeah, it's my phone. Yeah, it's my phone. That's good. Okay. Alright, so. Alright. Well, that's done. We have success. And now, unfortunately, now becomes the biggest part. And that's putting this table back and cleaning this mess up. But yep, looks like everything right now is good. Like I said, we're going to mount this controller under here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I am going to tie wrap everything up real quick. I'm going to put the cover on it. And this way, if my finger touches anything in there on high voltage, I don't get electrocuted. So we're going to do that. I'm going to tie wrap all this up. Then I'm going to push it through here. Then I'm going to go down in there. I'm going to sit over here and mount this up in there. And then start cleaning up. Come on. Yep. That's how I was. It's not. That's not. Okay, I need my drill, please. I already heard enough. Who cares? No, it's alright. Okay. I'm gonna mount this in here. So I'm gonna do that. Nah.
So, how'd you do?
Oh, it's in. It's done. It's functioning. It's working. We mounted the controller down here underneath the couch. We had everything. Air conditioning wise is all done. We just got to put the filter in over there. And now, unfortunately, the work is not even close to being done because now we got to clean it up because there's dust everywhere and we have to put it back together. So stay tuned. Okay. Alright, so this side's all buttoned up now. This is back in. We can't do anything here because we now have to clean up the table, put a couple extra screws in there, dust it out, get that done, and that has to go in, and I have to screw it in from this side. So can't really go and do anything with this yet. We can't put the airlock back in. So right now, let's go on the other side. This is as cleaned up as it's gonna get. Let's go on the other side, and let's start putting the other side back together. Now that we have everything in and done, the table's back, drains, everything is completely done and reinstalled. We just put the airflow back in, the airlocks. They're great units. They take the smells out of the boat all the time. Now with this unit here, you have to put it in front of where the air goes into the unit. So being that the box is completely on the other side, we actually we have a power strip underneath the bed here. So we took the cord off this and we put a plug-in onto it. And so now it's attached to a outlet in here, and then we run it through here, and it sits in front of the air conditioning just like it's supposed to. We just cleaned up the little wispies on the top, and we're good to go. We are officially done with this project. We just got to clean a couple things up. Everything's screwed back together, and we are officially done replacing the worst air conditioner, and I think the worst job that we've ever done on this boat. So we finished the project. It took us about 8.5 to 9.5 hours from deinstall to reinstall. It was definitely the worst project that we have done on this boat, for sure, 100%. So one thing I will say about this project, Sea Ray is definitely an overbuilt boat. There were so many brackets and screws holding that wall and that table in that I couldn't imagine hitting 20-foot seas with half the amount of screws and brackets in there and that table ever moving. So you saw in originally the deinstall video that we needed a 26-inch screwdriver in order to take some of the screws out that were behind the unit. Well, we didn't put those back in. We put in about half the screws and half the brackets that were in there originally. We jumped on it, we sat on it. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. So save yourself some headaches, save yourself some labor, and just don't go crazy trying to figure out how to put the screws back in. It's been in for about 2 weeks now. CTM makes a far superior product. There is no doubt about that. The installation was much easier. The unit works amazing. Really cold, blows really hard, and extremely quiet. I wouldn't want to do it again. And I'm going to recommend that if you are not mechanically inclined and you don't want to take on a very large project, that you hire somebody to do this. This is not for the faint of heart. This is a very long project. And if you can see by the video, one of the video when we walk downstairs, the boat's a wreck. And it takes a lot to get it done. But we did it. It's done. It's over. It's in. It's working. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments. We'll answer any questions that you have. Otherwise, subscribe. Stay tuned. We have a lot more videos coming, a lot more on Key West, a lot more on fishing reels, and a lot more on boat maintenance and boat safety and upgrades that we've done to the boat. Catch you next time on Anchors Up Key West.